Alcohol Beyond This Point podcast.
This isn't two podcasters talking business. This is two business guys trying to podcast.
Wine cabinet?
Yeah, just get it wet and slowly peel it off.
Ooh.
Get it really wet, Sorry if that disturbed you.
I hope that disturbed you. Hi, Tyler. We're back.
Welcome to our noises in your ear holes.
It's been a minute. I know we didn't really do an announcement of why we stopped recording, but it was just COVID restrictions. We couldn't see each other, but now we are both triple vaxxed, quadruple vax. I was going to say that as a joke, but then people listening in the future, there might be 3 vaxes, so...
I mean, probably.
Probably, yeah. So we are double vaxxed. It is July of 2021, and we're allowed to do this again, so... Welcome back.
Also, your hair is all over this mic and it's tickling my face, and it's really
I like when I tickle your face. This is Alcohol Beyond This Point, the podcast where we debate business topics, both sober and drunk, to see if we come to the same conclusion.
Right now we're sober.
Right now we're sober, so let's fix that. Today, this episode is sponsored by a very good friend of mine, my cousin, actually. Tell that story in a sec, but we have in front of us a few bottles of Post Malone's Rosé Maison number 9. I know it's been out in America for a while, so this isn't exciting, but this is actually I got one of the first cases in Manitoba, actually. And this is blind. We have not tried this at all.
Yeah, you've waited so long.
I've literally waited for this episode. I bought this 2 weeks ago.
That's a long time. That's an eternity.
For me.
I mean, you do have
alcohol.
a really heavily stocked liquor cabinet over there, but still, that's a lot of self-control. So props to you.
Thank you. Hey man, I'm getting much better at self-control.
That's good.
Not when it comes to women, but when it comes to
I mean, it's not really necessary in that area.
that is fair. But when it comes to, I'm trying to be
A better person?
trying to be an adult.
Oh, yeah.
Maybe not really a better person, but
just a more efficient adult.
I think there's an Asher Roth of I Love College fame. There's a line in some song, I think it's called I'm Eddie, if I recall. He's like, there comes a time in your life where you just have to grow up. Not all the way, but just
just a little bit.
Yeah. I really applaud. See, both of us like Post Malone's music a lot.
Yeah.
And I really, really applaud this design. This is one of his tattoos.
Right.
On his face or whatever. This sword with the rose on it. Well, I'm not gonna suck his dick too much until we figure out if this wine is good or not.
Good choice.
But I as someone in the wine industry, I'm a very big fan of this bottle.
I mean, we're not going to be professional wine critics about it. We're just going to slurp and tell you what we think.
I've
well, you have a more you know better.
I can bluff my way with
do your thing. Bluff your way through.
Okay.
Nobody can check. Oh wait, no, they can't. They
okay,
can
so if you're watching the video version of this podcast on youtube.com/votewillows, you can see that I'm currently swirling the cup, and then I'm going to give it a little sniffy sniff. You got to put your nose all the way in the thing and close your mouth. No, it's open your mouth.
You open your mouth. You inhale through both your nose and your mouth, so you don't burn out your nostrils.
No, that's for whiskey.
Oh, really?
For wine,
oh, that makes sense.
You close your mouth.
That makes sense.
Yeah, because for whiskey, you can overwhelm your palate. Pretty light on the nose. Smells like a rosé to me. Dry. I like. I'm getting notes of
trying to do some ASMR here.
I'm getting a oaky afterbirth. Just kidding. There's no oak in the afterbirth. I don't mind that. I think it's pretty good. I like the dry taste. It's very light on the palate.
Yeah, I like it.
It's very I could see me drinking this outside today.
Yeah, it's definitely not too sweet.
12.5% alcohol.
It's a little bit tart, but that's probably just because I don't have anything else in my mouth.
Do you want something else in your mouth?
More wine.
So, cheers to being back, and I guess this is...
Yeah, we didn't even cheers to start that one off, so...
This is season 3, episode 1, I guess.
Yep. Fucking right it is. Man, I have my, I was actually going to get a haircut today, but good thing I didn't because I wouldn't have time to eat. So, I'm getting a haircut tomorrow, so you get to see my... last time I cut it was probably right around the last time we recorded.
This is getting pretty...
Yeah, it was buzzed to about an inch long on top, and now it's about 3 inches. It's looking pretty shaggy.
I like it. I like it,
Yeah,
personally.
it's a lot.
Yeah, my hair is like...
It ages me down a lot, though.
That's fair, yeah. You already have a baby face, so...
Yeah, so when I walk into a construction
shitty hair
site...
doesn't help.
Yeah, when I walk into a construction site with my fucking baby face hair, it's... People are like, oh, who are you working for? And I'm like, myself. Like, oh, you need help carrying that? It's like, fuck you.
So I think it's been a few months since we recorded last, because of COVID restrictions, as we were talking about. Do you think COVID restrictions are working? Do you think they're an overreach?
Well, I mean, obviously they're working.
Do you think the restrictions were working, or do you think vaccinations are working?
Both.
Because I don't know about... Because we just kept getting tighter restrictions, and things just kept getting worse.
I think restrictions used to work.
And then people just got...
Nobody fucking cares anymore.
It's been 2 years of this shit.
Yeah, I think the compliance is low enough that it's not very effective anymore.
Yeah.
And, like...
Especially in the summer. This is the second summer they're stealing from us. People are sick of it. Like...
Yeah, vaccines came just in the nick of time because everyone here is just fucking done with it.
And this province, we are just approaching 80% first shot, and approaching 60% second shot.
Something like that.
Like that.
The last 20% is just the people that are refusing.
Yeah, we have some communities south of Winnipeg that are refusing. I think, did I send you that? Yeah, I sent you the picture in the group chat. It's like a giant vaccine. It's like experimental Nuremberg violation. Someone took out a fucking billboard in southern Manitoba to tell the masses that it's a violation of the Nuremberg Code, which, if you're unfamiliar, is the code that they wrote so that Nazis couldn't commit war crimes, or like made some of the war crimes that they were conducting illegal.
Yeah.
And the ones that are like internationally, shunned, and the ones that they're referring to are specifically the ones on medical testing, because famously Dr. Joseph Mengele, whatever, I don't know what his first, I think it was Joseph, but Dr. Mengele famously experimented on concentration camp victims. He wanted to, because he figured that if everyone was having twins, then they could repopulate Germany with Aryans quicker.
Right.
If he could guarantee twins.
Right.
So what he would pick twins out of in the concentration camps and torture one of them to see if the other one felt it and shit, and shit like that.
Good science.
Took the blood out of one and put it in the other and stuff stuff like that. Just horrible things to these prisoners. And he did a bunch of shit, and then so they made medical testing on prisoners basically a war crime, right?
Yeah.
So that is what these anti-vaxxers think the Canadian government is doing with vaccines.
Yeah.
Is a violation of that code.
Yeah, no, that's pretty good.
Even though you can just not get a vaccine, right?
You can also just not get a vaccine, and they also put it in tens of thousands of people through 3 phases of clinical trials, plus lab trials, plus efficacy
now
tests, plus
500 million people worldwide, more probably.
And I'm saying before they put it in people,
Yeah.
and now you have hundreds of millions of people that have it. Yeah, sure, it's a global experiment that's more successful than if you put peanut butter in everyone's sandwiches.
Yeah.
You would kill way more people with peanut butter.
Yeah. So, I guess I think I want to, unless something crazier happens and it gets worse, I kind of want to stop talking about COVID.
Yeah.
On the podcast. I think we've said our piece, right? We got vaccinated. You guys should get vaccinated too.
Yeah, I mean, the bullshit right now is just every other country that's not rich and white is getting fucked.
The third world is fucked.
Even middle world.
Yeah, well,
everyone but us, basically. Everyone but the West.
And UK, I guess. But
that counts as the West.
Okay, yeah, fair. Yeah, but like the entire all of Africa is like under 3% vaccinated because they can't get vaccines, right?
Yeah.
The only reason like Israel is vaccinated is because they're making their own. Same with Cuba, right? But like South America, Africa, it's like none of them.
Israel kind of counts as the West.
Yeah, well, until America stops being their daddy, then yeah, I agree. I agree.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, they're just so integrated. They're like everyone's favorite psychopath.
War criminal.
Yeah, favorite psychopath / war criminal. My favorite thing today that I heard about is Israel. New fantastic bit of news. I guess it's not really news, but it was just a fun reminder that the the Israeli defense.
IDF.
Yeah, it's not their IDF. It's the intelligence division.
Oh, Mossad.
Yeah, I think it's the Mossad. But basically, they hold the license to this software that's just incredibly effective at hacking smartphones, computers, virtually anything. Like they can hack right into like an iPhone. They can get access to all your passwords, keystrokes, text messages, phone calls, location data, everything. Open book to them.
Sure.
The metadata, everything. But yeah, so they have the software that's meant for espionage, and they are licensing it for profit. Or sorry, there's a company within Israel that's not the government, but that is selling these licenses for profit to like dictators around the world. So like the reporter Jamal Khashoggi was killed thanks to this software being used, and and every license of the software sold has to get signed off by Mossad. And Mossad is obviously massively subsidized by the West. So it's basically like the West is like, oh, you killed this reporter, but they enabled it.
So
it's just it's for-profit espionage, and they just sign off.
We always got to get our political ranting out of the way, but the last political thing I want to ask you about before I have a business topic I want to talk about, because this is a business podcast after all.
Is it?
I think so.
Well, let's start a for-profit spy agency and sell to dictators.
Is the president of Haiti?
Yep.
Was assassinated recently, along with I'm gonna get this wrong, but there were 2 other African nations. Their presidents were also assassinated within like the same day.
Yeah, that was pretty cool.
So
cool.
This might okay. So here I'll start with the non-alleged part, the part that is documented and happened. Is that the WHO and the UN had kind of a little meeting, and they're like, okay, here's how we're going to distribute vaccines to the third world and get everyone vaccinated. And Haiti and these 2 other African countries, I'll put it on the screen right now if you're watching the video version, all said, we're not going to do your vaccines. We don't want to make it a thing. We're going to treat COVID like the flu now. Get the fuck out of our country, basically. And then within a week of that, all 3 of their presidents were assassinated. This is all, everything I've said so far is a fact.
Yeah.
Now, what is speculation is that these were, mercenaries hired by the America or somebody else, because apparently the guy who's like the interim president now that the president in Haiti got killed is like, yeah, we speak French, we speak Creole in Haiti. These guys were speaking Spanish and English, these mercenaries. And they were somehow like easily able to get like, I'm thinking like, you seen Sicario?
Yeah.
I'm thinking like that, where they like get into the guys like.
So they, I'll fill in what I know here. So they were very I guess not they know, but a bunch of them were Colombian mercenaries.
Yeah. And
Colombian mercenaries are widely used for like spec ops because they are trained by the U.S. military.
Yeah. Since we were training. This comes up in Narcos a bunch. Like the U.S. was funding a bunch of far-right extremists to fight the communist government in Colombia.
Yeah, so there's a bunch
and they were trading cocaine for weapons, or vice versa. They were giving them weapons for cocaine, and then... Yeah, so it's like alive and well. So there's a lot of these like very highly trained with U.S. tactics, which is another thing that they talked about, is the troops moved in American like formations and movements. Can you like tell? Like
Yeah.
it's somebody who is experienced in
The way they breach doors, the way they clump together, the way they signal, like it's
that's actually fascinating.
there's signatures on all these things. It's all very process driven.
Because
right?
I don't like the military as a concept.
Mm-hmm.
I just know like everything I know about the military is from like Call of Duty, Battlefield, etc. But that's interesting that you could like look at somebody do something and be like, oh,
Yeah, you could probably look at the way that a guy cleans a gun and tell which military he's
that's
from.
fast. That's actually cool. I didn't know that.
Yeah, because that's how military is. Everything's like
Regimented and
process
very
driven.
very strict.
Yeah, so there was a very strong U.S. military signature. Plus, when they busted in, they screamed DEA, DEA, which is how they got past the guards.
Oh,
So the
because
guards
they're like,
provided no
we're not going to
resistance.
fight the fucking DEA.
Yeah, exactly. But what they found out about this is the guy that was basically leading it, he would have known well enough that the DEA, or that they wouldn't have shot the DEA. Like,
because
so he just knew that. Like, there was no affiliation to the DEA, obviously, but he just had that information or had that insight.
Well, I also learned this from Narcos is that the Sinaloa cartel in Mexico in the 70s and the 80s, they kidnapped and murdered a DEA agent. Like, this happened in real life.
Yeah.
And the fucking American government came down so hard on them and almost just cartels aren't as powerful now because the American government was didn't want to get involved in Mexico until they killed a fucking American citizen. And there was so much outcry in America that the president was like, oh yeah, you have as much money as you need.
Send the Marines.
Go fuck them up.
Yeah, send the Marines.
Yeah, and now, and now allegedly, like, cartels are like, no, feds, like American feds are off limits. You do not kill DEA agents because we're gonna be fucked. Like, yeah.
So you just can't do it.
Presumably, this guy knows that.
Well, Haiti's the same, right?
Yeah, exactly. Because it's kind of shady.
Yeah. So those are the signatures about what happened with the team. So the guy that ran it was he was a Haitian national living in Florida.
Okay.
So he was a Haitian citizen.
But he was an American.
Right, but that doesn't mean anything because that's how like the CIA gets anything done. You know, they use local actors. CIA doesn't do anything. They just like drop off briefcases of cash and they make they whisper in ears, whatever. They don't have military actions.
They puppet.
Yeah, they're intelligence. They don't do military.
Yeah, they
actions.
puppet. Well, yeah, you see the stereotypical like all these army guys, and then you see the guy in the suit with the sunglasses, right? That's like
or the
discrepant suit with the like, no tie button like down to here, and he's like.
Yeah, or he's just the most plain looking guy in plain clothes. That
he's wearing a champion sweater.
He speaks a bunch of languages and just like can disappear into a crowd, like he was never there. But it's very believable that
America would have
that like any number of countries could have put this into play. Like it wasn't just it didn't stop at this Haitian national living in Florida. He could have been hired or moved by someone else.
Yeah, I guess we won't. We're obviously not super educated on it, but maybe if you haven't really heard of this conspiracy, maybe start looking it up. Because
the timing's a motherfucker.
The timing is questionable because like
it's extremely unusual. Because I was listening to like the beat reporter that was what it works in this part of South America, and he's like, yeah, I've been doing this beat for 40 years, not the South America beat. He was doing like
where is Haiti?
A political beat.
It's in the Caribbean.
Yeah, Dominican Republic.
Dominican Republic is like the farthest, I think, from America.
Yeah, Haiti and Dominican Republic.
Oh, they're the same island, right?
Island.
I've been there. Fun fact.
Oh,
not Haiti, Dominican Republic. But flying over it, I always tell this story because Haiti is like left-leaning with no property rights, and the Dominican is right-leaning with property rights.
Yeah.
You can literally see the divide in the trees.
Yeah.
Because the Dominican people, well, you don't want dead trees on your property. And then Haiti is like rotted and or logged.
Yeah.
It's really interesting.
Which is mostly thanks to France and
I'm not
and the U.S. right?
Well, yeah, I'm
Yeah.
not saying exactly.
You look at the rich long history of Haiti
Oh,
and how
man,
much America fucked it.
Well,
but
and yeah, they still owe France like hundreds of billions of dollars in interest and like fucking
no,
shit. It's a whole thing.
that's over now.
Okay, but it was a whole. It like
The U.S.
kept them down, right?
Yeah,
Like,
well, the U.S. bought them out of that debt and turned it into debt to the U.S. and then used that as an excuse to gun down thousands of
oh
protesters.
yeah, they just
and
like killed
citizens.
1,000 protesters in the street.
They killed
right?
2,000 protesters in one night. They just like the U.S. military just fucking gunned them down. It was
As
really,
one
it was
did.
really cool.
Oh, and now, did you see
really,
that?
really nice of them.
Did you see that video the other day? Los Angeles, there was a protest going on. These cops come out with riot armor and guns, and this woman goes, "Can you please lower your guns?" And a fucking cop shoots her point blank with a rubber bullet.
Nice,
Like, this is like
classic.
people are always like, "Oh man, fucking Haiti," and then
Yeah.
in their backyard, it's
Yeah.
like, "Oh my god!"
Yeah,
Like,
fucking Florida,
yeah,
or
this was L.A.
L.A.,
which
worse.
which is like a liberal state. Like,
Yeah, it's going down. But yeah. Anyways, this reporter who's been doing a political beat for a very long time, whatever, he's been reporting on dictators and war leaders, and he's like, I've reported on many coups, many assassinations over the years, and he's like, this is the first one I've ever seen where you had a military force or like a military-like force
yeah, it's always like citizens, right?
attacks a president in his home.
Yeah.
He's like, that never happens.
Well, how do they know how to get there? How do they? Like,
Well, no, they just usually make it more of a public statement. Usually, it's they hit the motorcade, they hit a speech, they hit him at the presidential palace.
That's actually a
like
good point,
it's usually done by the day. It's usually done by broad daylight. It's making a statement, right?
yeah,
They never do it like at the dark.
clandestine. Like,
Yeah, clandestine, dark of night in his bedroom.
Well,
like that's an
let's-
execution. That's not so much
yeah,
a political
that,
assassination.
well, it looks like a.
Well, and they
politically-
tortured
It
him.
looks like a fucking mob hit, right? Like,
yeah,
that's
yeah,
what
yeah.
it looks like.
Yeah, it looks like a mob hit.
Let's compare it to another recent coup in Burma,
Myanmar, yeah.
Myanmar. What
Yeah.
is it actually?
Currently Myanmar.
What do they want to be called? Myanmar?
I think so.
I don't want to be like problematic and call it Burma, but
Was Burma.
okay, it definitely was. Myanmar. There's a coup going on there. I don't know if it's
Yeah.
over or not. It's
No, it's not.
yeah, but that has been a long. Like we were talking about this, I think last podcast, like 3 months ago.
Yeah.
This has been a long, drawn out, bloody, like struggle.
Yeah.
For independence or whatever, freedom from the. I think they have a king still, right? Like
No. You have it all fucked up.
Okay.
The military took power from an elected official.
oh, okay.
So it was
and
their
they're trying to like get the power back.
yeah. It was
Oh,
like
okay.
it was like their first truly elected leader, and then
Because they had a king, I think, until
Yeah.
recently. Like
well, yeah, they basically had a power sharing agreement between the military and the elected official, where
like Rome.
right, like the elected government didn't have power over the military. It's like there was a military
Like how the president of the
country.
United States is not in charge of the Senate or whatever.
Something like that, except if the Senate just had guns and they weren't elected.
That's fair.
And they also ran most of the GDP.
Okay, but
sold
whatever.
drugs.
My point being, compare that struggle to this clandestine nighttime assassination of the Haitian president.
Yeah, well, Haiti hasn't had a peaceful transfer of power, like, ever, really. So having a president assassinated is not exactly new, but
I think
had,
that's probably what
yeah.
the Americans are counting on, though.
Yeah, I mean they've been fucking around in there since
so
as long as they've been America.
So okay, here's my final point on this is that I know a lot of people like I'm saying get the vaccine, right?
yeah,
But a lot of people that are preaching get the vaccine 6 months, or I guess 6 months ago, COVID's been going on for like 2 years, like 2.5 years ago, 6 months before the pandemic, those same people that are like pleading with us to get the vaccine were like, fucking drug companies are evil, pure evil, and will
Right.
put
Yeah,
people,
yeah, yeah.
keep people sick to make more profit,
which is true.
which is true. So, when Pfizer's like, when the government's like, I don't know, do they need a third booster shot? Pfizer's like, yep.
No, it's the other way around. Pfizer's like, I think they need a third booster shot, and the government's like, no.
Yeah, well, but it's gonna happen.
Eventually.
Yeah.
But it was seen like after this announcement was made about the booster shot. I mean, it's been expected. People have been expecting the booster shot pretty much since the vaccine came
we have
out.
a fucking influenza booster shot. Fuck
Exactly.
off, whatever.
Yeah. Well, that and the fact that it's mutating so quickly because it's going through millions of people.
Yeah.
But they're like, there's going to likely be a booster shot. But the problem is, most people can't get their first dose. Never mind their third.
In the world.
Right. So it was seen as it would have been seen as very
Jumping the shark.
insensitive. Yeah.
Yeah.
It would have looked very badly on the government if they said yes to that third dose.
Well, it's kind of wild that I guess we just have white privilege, literally,
Well,
we have first world privilege, right?
Well, see the people that say the pharmaceuticals are evil and they just make people sick to generate profit. It's like, no, they don't make people sick to generate profit. They just don't. They create dependency on their product.
Did you see Candace?
People are already sick. Like, they're getting better.
Do you know who Candace Owens is?
No.
She's she's black. She's a super right wing person.
Nope.
I don't know if she's famous. No, she is famous. I don't know if she's I don't think she's a politician. I think she's just a Fox News pundit. Whatever. Candace Owens. She tweeted the
Fox contributor.
Yeah, she tweeted the other day. Oh yeah, the government is making COVID vaccines free because they care about our health. If the COVID vaccine was healthy for you, why wouldn't diabetes medicine be free? Why wouldn't asthma medicine be free? And then a bunch of left-wing people were retweeting her being like, you're so close. You are so close to understanding.
Yeah.
It's
We've been talking about this for a while.
You're almost there.
Yeah, because when you get to universal healthcare, there's price controls. There's
yeah.
It's a very different. It's a very different system.
I'm a pretty free market guy, obviously. If you listen to this podcast, you know how fucking anarchistic I am.
But the free market doesn't exist in the current healthcare hospital system.
That was exactly what I was going to say, is that this weird mismatch, in America at least, because we have socialized medicine here, taxpayer subsidized socialized medicine in Canada. But in America, you have this weird mismatch where the government basically bails out pharmaceutical companies and controls them. And they have this symbiotic relationship.
Well, I don't just mean that. I mean between the drug makers and the hospitals and the insurance companies.
Yeah, they have.
That's its own ecosystem.
Yes.
The consumer has nothing to do with it.
The
consumer has no power.
Yeah. Yes, and that's not the free. That's what they call corporatism.
Right.
Which is when these giant ubiquitous companies basically collude with each other and the government to create, whatever.
And in this case, colluding with the government means keeping medicine and healthcare privatized, not public, so that they can continue to make whatever money and do whatever they want and control the pricing, control the margins, control the customer, control the cost, control the delivery.
And it's the same thing happens in America on a private scale with the private insurers and he finished his glass of wine first.
Not
so I had
to be outdone.
Yeah. To be fair, I was finishing a beer as well. So
fuck off.
The same way that America colludes with this these giant insurers, because the drug companies set their prices to a ridiculous level because they know that the government and the insurers will pay it no matter what.
Right, but
it's the consumer that gets fucked.
And they usually barter. They get it whatever
but
negotiated down.
The same thing happens in Canada with our universities, is that university tuition has increased by something like 60,000% since they made it subsidized by the government. Because think about it. If you're a university and you know that this 18-year-old can get a loan for $5,000 or $10,000, they won't or $50,000, they won't fucking question it. They will give them a loan no matter what.
Yeah.
Of course you raise your price, right?
Yeah.
And tuition prices are one of the highest, I think over 1,000% over inflation or something over the last 50 years.
Yeah, I believe it.
And I don't know a solution, but I think if you privatized that system, or you at least got the government out of it completely. I think Mark Cuban has a really good. He said, have one state college every single state that's completely free to go to,
Right.
and then have any other university that can do whatever they want.
Right. Yeah.
But the government is not allowed to like do anything with those universities.
With the private ones.
Yeah, and can't give loans, can't guarantee loans, can't do anything like that.
Yeah.
But have one state-run university that is free to go to for anybody.
Yeah.
And then keep the scholarship system and everything, like all that, right?
I mean, ideally.
Also idealistically versus.
Well,
like,
it's kind of the same way our healthcare system works in some Canadian provinces. It's like a 2-tier system.
where you can get private coverage if you have money.
Right.
Yeah.
There's the rich people system, then there's the everybody else system.
Well, and also when we say we have, people always like, or Americans always like to compare, they're like, oh, Canada's free healthcare. Well, we don't have free dental. We don't have any free mental health care.
Yeah.
We don't have any free...
Eye care.
What, sorry?
Eye care.
Yeah, optometry.
Drugs.
Yeah, pharmaceuticals. Yeah, those are not covered.
Unless you have disability insurance that covers it specifically.
But then that's a private company usually. You're like, I have a Manulife. That's a private company. I pay them premium.
There's provincial disability, like if you have like whatever.
I think that's just
like diabetes.
I think that's just low income though.
Oh, okay, yeah, probably.
I'm pretty sure it's not.
Right, yeah, no, that is a low income thing, yeah.
Yeah.
Which is again something that doesn't exist in the US.
Yeah, no, I like so here's the,
some people get a job just and 30% of their income is just going to their diabetes medication.
Yeah, but the reason why I'm so adamantly against taxation is not because I don't want the government to provide social safety nets, but because historically the government has done a poor job at providing social safety nets.
It's a piss poor job, but currently it's the best solution we have.
Yeah, but like giving them like there's no, I was saying this the other day, I'm like, there's no moral way to pay your taxes. You pay your taxes and 90% of that money goes towards the war machine or corporate bailouts. Like the amount of money that actually goes towards healthcare is nothing. You could
it's like the COVID bill. It was only a few $100 million out of the COVID.
And then 600 million in Israel and
or, sorry,
like all this.
Not a few $100 million. There's like a few tens of billions that went towards direct payments and
then it was but it was a $5 trillion bill and the rest went to bullshit.
There was a few tens of billions more that went to like business bailouts and rent subsidies and then there was the moratorium on evictions.
Yeah.
But the remainder of the money went to giant corporate. A lot of it went unused actually, but yeah, it was like damn near $1 trillion.
Our country is bailing out airlines. We're bailing out Bombardier like a ton of times.
Well,
like
to be fair, those I get. I get
let
airlines.
Let them fail, man. Let them fail. Someone will figure something out. Like
I get airlines. I get Bombardier. Like, well, that's the thing. Like, you can let them fail, but then the cycle of restarting that is so much more capital and so much more risk, and it's the people that would be restarting it would be the same ones that just bankrupted. So it's cheaper to bail out a bankruptcy than it is to let those people go bankrupt and restart. There's more money lost if you let them fall.
I'm not gonna get in a corporate bailout argument with you, so we're gonna do.
I get corporate bailouts in acute stress situations,
like a pandemic.
I'm not down for the corporate bailouts where they give the company $1 billion and they pay half of it out to executives and shareholders.
CEO. Yeah, exactly.
I get the
which
bailouts,
is what happens though.
Yeah, I know, but I get bailouts to keep the doors open, but that's not how it works.
That's not how it works. And
which is again goes down to the government's fucking terrible at its job.
Yes, and then but then you start fucking analyzing the connections that these politicians have, and it's like, oh, all their dad's friends are executives of this company they're bailing out. It's like,
It's a very, very small ecosystem of people.
Yeah. Whatever. So we're gonna have a transition here, and then we're gonna get into business topics, which we've been doing political for half an hour. So.
Well, this hasn't been straight political though.
That's fair. So we're gonna transition here into the segment that we call Shot Caller. This is the segment where you, the audience, can pick the shot that we take today. This episode is sponsored by Post Malone wine. We already talked about that. Duh. Oh yeah. No, okay. Before we do this,
cousin?
Yeah, my cousin. This one time we were at a bar. We were at a patio, rooftop patio, and Post Malone was playing, I guess, on the speakers. Do you remember this? Because you were the one that said it. You told the waitress that Post Malone was my cousin.
Oh, I don't even remember.
Really?
This.
Okay, it was because my
This sounds like me though.
my Twitter bio was Post Malone's cousin for like 6 months after that. But it was 100% you. Like, you were trying to wingman me with the waitress.
Oh yeah, that sounds like me.
And you said, because there was like Post Malone song that I was like humming or something. She's like, "Oh, I love this song," and I'm like, and then you said like, "Oh, that's actually his cousin."
Because you look so similar.
No, I kind of look like with my hair down,
Yeah.
with the beard. I kind of look like him.
Yeah, you just need some face tats.
Yeah, and she's like, "No way," and you're like, "No, seriously," and she looks at me and I'm like, "No, seriously," and she's like, "No way." And that was like, and then I changed my Twitter bio like the day after to Post Malone's cousin. I can't believe you don't remember that, but like, you know,
No, I don't remember.
I like
Where was this?
Rooftop Tav.
Rooftop Tav.
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
I like vividly remember this.
I have such a bad memory for some of this shit.
Yeah.
My girlfriend gets so mad at me. She's like, "Oh, you remember when you did this?" And I'm like, "No."
Does
No,
she
I
ever
don't.
does she ever use the my ex used to do this all the time. You start telling a story and she's like, "Oh, I know. You've told the story before."
Oh, so often.
Or whatever, but then you're like or no, you think you told a story and she's like, "Must have been your other girlfriend."
Right.
Fuck, my ex used to say that to me like 6 times a week.
Must have been your other girlfriend.
Must have
yeah.
been the other girlfriend. Anyway, so
We're like, "Oh yeah, we did this thing together." She's like, "No, we didn't." I'm like, "Oh yeah, that was with my other girlfriend."
anyway, but aside from the Post Malone sponsorship, we are also the shot we are taking today is Cazador's tequila, which I bought because it had a deer on it. I'm just kidding. It was sponsored. I didn't buy it. Duh.
Cheers.
Cheers. Tequila.
Not chilled, shaken or stirred.
It's fine.
Yeah, it's a smooth
Right?
tequila.
Spend
Yep.
a little bit more money.
Yeah.
Like this compared to this is like $10 more than Jose Cuervo,
Yeah.
and
Yeah, that's really good.
yeah, not if it was cold, you'd
Yeah.
be fucking. We could drink that like water, like.
Yes.
And you guys know if you watch this podcast, I don't take shots well. I usually fucking, but that's like pretty like.
Yeah,
I took that pretty well. I didn't chase
You're not
that.
you're not great with hard liquor, but you've also been sipping hard liquor, which has probably been increasing that
I
tolerance
think
for you.
has this been a change since last podcast?
I think so.
So I recently got into every time I go. So I'll put a picture of it if I remember. But I bought a big ass cabinet for my spare room, for the room that we do this podcast in.
Yeah.
And I make it because ever since I was a kid, like when I was like 14 years old, my friend, his dad was a lawyer, and he had this fucking big Wellington Crescent house. Wellington Crescent is the rich people part of town in our city, and it was like had a spiral staircase going downstairs, and he had this full wet bar. Like his backyard was hot tub, pool, basketball court,
Yeah.
and then like yard. Like it was like whatever. Anyway,
You should show me where this house is.
no word.
I've been in.
It's right by the zoo. It's right by the zoo, or like that
Yeah.
that entrance to Assiniboine Park. Yeah. Anyway, no
Okay.
one listening cares about
Yeah.
where the position of this house is. But anyway, he had this full wet bar. And this was like before. This was like when I was underage. I didn't know anything about like cocktails. I'm like, oh, I'll just take a fucking beer or whatever, right? But that's always been in my mind that I'm like, man, like I wake up today. I'm like, I want a tequila sunrise, and I just have orange juice. I just have maraschino cherries. I just have the nice tequila, whatever, right? And I'm like, oh, now I like you go to a bar like when we were in Mexico.
Yeah.
We just kept like, we ordered 30 different kinds of drinks through the day. And obviously the resort just has the liquor. But I'm like, that's always been my dream. Is this like, I'm in this mood. I don't have to like run out and go get this shit. I just have it. So anyway, I have this liquor cabinet now that I'm trying to keep full, which I'm finding out is expensive, evidently. Every time I'm like, okay, I'm going to the liquor mart, going to make a list. And I walk over to my cabinet and I'm like, okay, well, my gin's kind of low. My tequila's kind of low. My whatever's kind of low. I'm like, whatever's kind of low. I'm like, fuck. Like, and then as they're ringing it up, I'm like, oh no, it's like 150, 200, 220, 380. I'm like, oh no, oh no, oh no. But whatever. Trying to keep this more stocked as I'm doing a little bit better for money now. And every time I go to the liquor mart, I try to pick a whiskey or a scotch or a bourbon that is between $60 to $100 a bottle.
Okay, I'm buying up to 60 right now, probably.
Yeah. Well, yeah, I've bought ones that are like 110. Usually around 80. Yeah, like between 60 and 100 bucks usually. And then I'm
The Americans are like, what?
liquor's expensive here, yeah.
Yeah.
But I'm and then drinking it on ice. I like 2 ice cubes. I've tried to drink at room temperature. Not a huge fan.
No, me neither.
But-
Most people aren't.
But even the expensive, like I guess like maybe $100 isn't super expensive.
Yeah.
Maybe if I had a $500 bottle, I'd like it room temperature because I think you're supposed to drink a lot of scotch room temperature.
Yeah, I mean, you do like a splash of water or whatever.
Yeah,
or you can do
but-
the cold rocks so it doesn't water it down.
Sure, yeah. But I like the I like 2 ice cubes. That's enough like water down for me. But yeah, I've been sipping a lot more whiskey. No, I don't know what I was trying to say, but like impart, not little impart. Okay, I'm not even gonna try to get there. One of the reasons why I started doing that is because I watched through Boardwalk Empire with Steve Buscemi. It was an HBO show. It was like 5
Haven't seen it
seasons.
yet.
It's a Prohibition era.
Right. Yeah, I've been wanting. Yeah.
Really good. I recommend it. That's why I started wearing 3-piece suits again as well. I bought all my 3-piece suits because of Peaky Blinders. And then I hadn't worn them in a while. And then I watched that they all wear 3-piece suits. So now I started wearing them again. And I'm doing a lot of, because we're having a heat wave here.
Yeah,
in
it's really
Manitoba.
fucking hot.
No jacket, just the
Right.
vest.
Oh yeah, that's nice.
Because that's what
I used to do that for rooftop events. I would do the
Yeah.
dress shirt and the vest. So I have like 5-6 vests that don't match anything.
Yeah, so that's what I've been doing is just the vest and the dress shirt in the heat. While I bartend on Sundays usually at my bar, and that's what I'll wear. Just the
Yeah,
vest.
it's a good look.
Yeah,
Like a
so-
bolo tie or a bow tie.
Yeah, I got a big box of Amazon bow ties, different colors.
Sweet.
I had to stop wearing the bow ties recently. My beard got so long that it covers the bow tie.
Oh no.
Yeah.
Oh, no.
I stopped okay, I did like 3 months in quarantine. I stopped trimming it completely, and then it like looks like shit, but I was just trying to get longer. And now I trim like up here more, but I'm like getting it longer kind of here. This is like beard oil in it, so
Yeah.
it's like face down a little bit. But I'm trying to like, if you have a beard, if you want to like change styles slightly, you gotta like do a month of looking like shit
Yeah,
before you
yeah,
can like
yeah.
get it to look like anytime I want to like move my line up on my cheek a little bit,
Yeah.
I gotta like you
Yeah,
gotta look like
yeah.
shit for a few weeks, like whatever, right? But yeah, I don't know, man. Like I feel like I've been trying to do more leisure things. I know my therapist has been telling me this fucking forever, that you can't just work 24 hours a day.
Oh shit.
Yeah. I still think you should. If you're young and you have the energy and you're smart enough to start a business,
Well,
I
work
think
a
you
lot,
work as much as you physically are able to,
but also party as much as you physically can.
which I was doing as well.
yeah,
right?
You have to.
But
The caveat is
So-
you also party and fuck around and fuck as much as you can.
But there's a difference between partying and fucking and like sitting alone watching a movie in my room. You know what I
Right.
mean? Like there's a difference. Leisure is different. So like you can see it,
You
but
could just call that like me time, which is good too.
masturbating, right?
Yeah.
The camera can't see it, but you can see it. I put up I have a projector now.
Yeah.
It's a 96-inch screen I have on the other side of the room.
With some shitty chairs in front of it.
It's fine.
I guess
But-
you have a futon over here.
I pull the couch out if we're
Yeah.
like I'm watching it with a date or whatever. But I have a projector now in my office here, and I've been trying to watch because I used to watch like 2 movies a night.
Is that a new projector?
Yeah, I just bought it.
Nice.
Yeah.
I thought you were using like the fancy one from the office.
No. I bought this.
Nice.
Yeah. So I'm trying to like do. I'm just trying to be more leisure. I started, see, I have a bad, like, anytime I'm I just said wasting time. Anytime I'm like doing a leisure activity, I think of it as wasting time. You know what I mean? So
Every time I'm wasting time, I think it's leisure.
was literally about to say that.
Yeah.
So, I started, tell me what you think about this, because you haven't really. I started streaming on Twitch as well, video games.
Yeah.
I just started doing that recently. I've only done like 3 streams, but it was pretty fun. One of my employees, Wyatt, shout out Wyatt, follow him on Twitch, Scholar101. But he streams on Twitch, and he actually has like a little bit of a following, and he loves that shit. So I was like playing a video game the other day, and I was feeling bad about it. I'm like, what if I monetize this, right? Whatever. But I started streaming, and my second stream ever, I had like just one person, but like one random person in chat that was like giving me feedback as I was playing and like talking about the game, and like he knew about the game and like talking about levels and stuff.
Yeah.
And I was like, this is serotonin or what? Endorphins, like serotonin. Yeah. Like just fucking. I'm like, this is lit. Like there's one guy talking to me. I'm like, yeah. But yeah. Tell me about. I don't know. Give me your opinions. I don't know.
I think it's a very extroverted way to go about having me time. That's the way I see it.
I remember you told me that. Because shout out Letterbox. Follow me on Letterbox, vote Willows. But I remember I was telling you about that I review movies every time I watch them.
Yeah, you're making an extroverted exercise of watching fucking movies in your basement.
Yeah, you're being extroverted out of an introverted activity, which is like, yeah. And then so I started playing video games and streaming them for the world to see, right?
Honestly, that's the way I perceive it. Like, if that's...
that's how I have to do,
the way some people define extroverted is you get energy from interacting with other people, and we're super starved of that. So yeah, of course it makes fucking sense.
And then I edited like a highlight, like it was a 2-hour stream. I did like a 20-minute video, just like the funny parts, and uploaded it to YouTube.
Yeah.
But I wanna start doing more content. I have a few video ideas on my mind.
I have the same thing like with my work, my daily work. Like there's a bunch of video and content and stuff that we could do.
Oh, dude!
But like the amount of time it would take to process and post that video, we just don't have the fucking time.
But
like,
here's what I've been saying. I think I said this to you last mastermind that we had. Excuse me. I said like TikTok or like Instagram Reels.
Yeah.
Is like not that much physical work. Like
it's not that much work to post. Yeah.
And people make a living off that shit.
Yeah, no, it is actually
off like ASMR from fucking house building and shit. There's accounts that just do that.
100%. Like that's what we're gonna be working on because, like you mentioned, whatever Wellington Crescent. I've been on 6 Wellington Crescent properties like in the last 2 weeks. Like I work now almost exclusively on
high-end homes,
the top 1% homes. Like not just high-end homes, but like top 1% homes in the province.
Oh yeah, the fucking videos you send me, dude. Like...
Yeah, they're insane. I guess it's like the shit that you see that goes viral on TikTok. Like these crazy bedrooms.
What's your business Instagram?
Floating beds and whatever.
Shout it out.
Surface Studio.
Yeah. So
just look up Surface Studio.
Surface Studio on Instagram. So yeah, he sends some of these fucking videos in the group chat. It's wild, these houses.
Yeah, so I want to do like walkthroughs of the houses because I've been working kind of like as the finisher, like the last guy that goes through.
So you have it when it's done.
Yeah, even like after the people are living there, I go and do finishing touches.
Yeah.
But I also am one of the first guys that goes in where I'm going and doing rough in, so I can get video of like really early, during, and after, but we have so many job sites running at the same time. I can post something in rough construction, I can post something in process, I can post something finished.
You know what you gotta
within
do?
Few days.
You know what you gotta do is you like put your hand over the lens of the camera
and it just like,
and then draw it back and then it's finished.
Yeah,
dude, people love that shit.
Yeah, like, no, I've been working on these sites for like 2-3 weeks now, so like I need the longer cycle to like collect these videos and categorize them. So I'm gonna get to that, but the goal is to do like post 1 reel per day.
Yeah,
and anywhere between like 5 and 10 story posts. Here's mostly video.
Here's your business tip of the day. Oh, actually, it's not your real. Wait, what is our segment we do at the end? Is that business tip of the day?
Yeah.
Okay. Well, this isn't a business tip of the day, I guess, but it's just a business tip. The Instagram algorithm right now is really favoring reels.
Well, not just really favoring. They said they are almost exclusively promoting video content now.
Yeah, make your fucking reels. Even if you're not focused on your account isn't focused on it, do a couple a day. I've been seeing growth on my business account.
Yeah, like
every time I go to a farmer's market, I make a little reel. It takes literally 30 seconds to make. It doesn't need to be good. And here's put a song on it.
Yeah.
Don't use your own audio. Put a song on it, and then
I get roughly 10 times engagement when I do video with a song versus just a post.
Yeah, 100%. Me too. I got like posted one without a song. I got like 50 views. Posted one right after with a song, 1,000. Easy. Like,
no, the algorithm treats it completely differently. But Instagram put out a press release explicitly saying they are moving towards becoming a video platform.
Well, I saw that they were like they're testing it out.
Well, no, they said we've been watching the market. We've seen what TikTok has done. We see what's working, and we're going to move towards becoming a video platform.
Interesting. That is interesting. Like, because everyone, like, I remember like the people that didn't want to use Instagram in the beginning were like, "Oh, you just post pictures? It's dumb." And now they're like, it's not even that anymore. Now it's
and then it became like you can do multiple pictures, and then you could post videos, and then stories is a big deal. Yeah, what they stole from Snapchat.
Well, literally, Facebook's entire Facebook, Instagram, both owned by Zuckerberg. Literally, the last 6 years has been copying.
Just R&D, rob and duplicate.
Yeah, you rip off and duplicate. Yeah, because they stole stories from Snapchat, they stole reels from TikTok. Like, it's literally, they stole IGTV from YouTube. Like, it's literally just. Yeah, and
there's gonna be these antitrust investigations against them, but they can't fucking do anything. Like, my favorite.
You can't trademark.
Okay, here's my highlight of the news. This is political/business/news. So President Biden says, like, in passing while getting onto Marine One, Facebook is killing people because of the vaccine disinformation.
Yeah.
On Facebook, which is fair. 99% of it's there.
Yeah.
He's like, they're killing people. Quote. What he probably meant is like what he probably meant is Facebook is killing people, but what he later explained is the people posting misinformation are killing people, which is also true because they've narrowed it down to a dozen accounts are responsible for 65% of the disinformation on vaccines comes from 12 accounts.
That's wild.
And one of them is one of them is Kennedy, one of them is Shapiro, one of them's I think Tucker Carlson.
Isn't Ben Shapiro a fucking doctor?
No.
Oh no, sorry.
He's just a spoiled. He's just a spoiled ass short little Jewish guy.
He's a lawyer. His wife is a doctor.
Yeah, but he's just a spoiled.
Because remember, he's like
a spoiled little rich.
Remember,
shit.
He's like, my wife's a doctor, and she says pussies shouldn't be wet. Remember that? When
everyone's like, Ben, what have you been doing to your wife?
Cardi B released a song called WAP, which stood for wet ass pussy, where she just talked about being promiscuous essentially. And good at sex, and then Ben Shapiro was mad at it and was like, "My wife doesn't get wet in bed, so I think that's a problem." And then everyone's like, "What did you just admit to?"
Ben.
Yeah, that was the whole thing. But
Anyways, it's 12 accounts. So he says they're killing people.
Mm-hmm.
Facebook claps back and says, "You shouldn't be blaming the lack of vaccine success on us. You've missed all your vaccine targets recently. Quit trying to pass the buck to Facebook. Get your shit together."
Well, they were doing.
So Facebook says this to the president's office, and within a few hours of that, president recants his statement and basically apologizes for shit talking Facebook. Like, how many corporations? I shouldn't say that. There's probably quite a few. Like, what power Facebook has to clap back at the president and get him to apologize the same day. Like, that's fucking power. Like, Facebook has fucking power. And, yeah, they can deplatform, obviously, like Trump. And I don't know. I don't think antitrust is going to go anywhere with it.
So, the thing I want to talk about that I wanted to talk about at 30 minutes, and now we're at 57 minutes, is we're drinking Post Malone's wine here. It's not too bad, but I want to say I've had better wine.
Yeah, it's not. It's not amazing, but it's not bad.
It's fine. It's like it was a 32 Canadian, 32.50 Canadian bottle.
It didn't taste any better than a $20 bottle.
Yeah, it's fine. It's not bad. But so I have the unique ability. I don't think this is. Hold on, I gotta think.
That's not privileged.
No. I'm under a couple NDAs with my liquor distributor. I don't think this is one of them.
Probably not.
I'll look it up and I'll censor. I'll just cut this all out if I am. But okay, I just looked up what this wine did in my province. So it's only been available here for about a month. So in the month of July, and as of now, I'm just looking at the numbers. They are sold out, so
Okay.
they probably could sell more if they had more.
Yeah.
But they sold 114 cases of wine in, what's the date today? The 20th? 21st?
21st.
It's the 21st. So they've sold 114 cases of wine in 21 days in Manitoba. And so that was 12 bottle cases. So that ended up, I had Tyler do the math.
Oh, $45,240.
Okay, so about $45,000 in 21 days.
Yep.
In this province, which isn't crazy, obviously, for Post Malone, but
I mean, post taxes, post cost, he probably
Barely.
nets 10 grand on that.
Maybe, yeah. But you know how long it takes me to fucking sell 114
How to make 10 grand? Yeah.
Yeah. Like
And he, if you said you made 10 grand in Winnipeg, Post Malone, he'd be like, where?
yeah. He does have a quote that's he performed in Saskatoon, Saskatchewan, which is kind of our neighbor. And he said, Saskatoon was the most miserable, coldest place I've ever been to. And I retweeted it, and I said, you're going to change your tune when you come to Winnipeg, and I hope you do.
Yeah, because like Saskatoon in the wintertime, like it's
not as bad as here.
It's not very much of a city. It's a fucking small city. It's a fucking desolate province. Like you go outside the city, 15 minutes, no cell service.
Yeah.
You can drive 12 hours in any direction. There's no cell service unless you go to America.
Saskatchewan's worse than
fucking desolate.
Manitoba, which is funny.
Yeah, it's
because people always shit
flatter.
on us. People always shit on us for being bad, but
it's flatter. It's more boring. It's just shit. Don't go there. Sorry, Post Malone.
Come here though. But
go somewhere else.
Anyway, what I wanted to lean into here is his business model here.
Yeah.
Which is
becoming very common among musicians. Like G-Eazy made
as a tequila?
Well, he sold it. Goody was updating on this.
Yeah.
He's whatever Manitoba star. He was saying that how much did G-Eazy sell his liquor for? Let's actually fact check this. Tens of millions, I'm pretty sure.
Well, the one that comes to my mind is Ryan Reynolds and Aviator Gin.
Right. Yeah. So this is becoming a new thing. Like, not a new thing, but
The Rock has a tequila.
There's always licensing attributed to fame, right?
Of course.
But it's been merch, it's been albums, it's been music, it's been tours, it's been TV, it's been whatever. But now they're saying, a lot of the women attach a lot of female
Identifying.
Sure. Stars are doing perfumes.
Sure.
Like you have the Miley perfumes, you have the Gomez perfumes,
Or like
Bieber. Actually, I should say Bieber actually had probably one of the best selling perfumes.
Or
You have
like
the Katy Perry.
Padma Lakshmi has a makeup line.
Right,
Shit
yeah.
like that, right?
So
Kylie Jenner, right?
Right, they're turning like these $1 million fortunes into $100 million fortunes, multiple hundreds of millions.
Yeah.
Okay, so G-Eazy made Stillhouse Spirits Inc.,
Which I've never heard of.
They sued Bacardi for $100 million. That's fun. Sues Bacardi for extortion. That's hilarious. I gotta read up on that.
I was gonna say that's a episode for another time.
Okay, yeah, but anyways, G-Eazy made somewhere near or north of $100 million
On a liquor brand.
on his liquor brand
Yeah.
after like less than a year of work.
Yeah. And if Post Malone is doing 50 G's in 20 days in Manitoba,
it's likely
he's killing it. And
it's likely just a licensing deal, right? Like, you're a liquor manufacturer. Let's say you had the power to approach Post Malone and say, I'm going to pay you $90 million
to use your likeness or whatever.
and we're going to come out with this.
You don't think
whatever.
this is his?
Well, I'm sure he's involved.
There's pictures of him like on the vineyard.
Yeah, well, no, if you're doing a $90 million deal.
Well, we don't. This is speculation. We don't know if it's 90 million or not.
Well, no, let's just say for
You're just
argument's
saying,
sake,
yeah.
it's a $10 million deal. Like, you get Post Malone to fucking lick the vines.
Yeah.
And do some video. It's simple. It's just PR.
But don't you think?
And
like,
you get him involved with making it.
But don't you think it'd be worth more if he was like, let's start a winery, gentlemen?
Yeah, but Post Malone doesn't want to run a winery. Like,
no, well, obviously he wouldn't. But like, I don't know.
He's essentially licensing his likeness to a winemaker.
Yeah, that's why I bought a case.
Right.
Right.
Yeah, but that's what it is.
I was spending like $1,000. No, I was spending like what 30 times. Yeah, I was spending like $500 on fucking Post Malone wine, and the employee goes, "Oh, a lot of people have been buying this today," because like I went like the first day, and he's like, "Yeah, a lot. You gotta tell us how it is. Like people keep fucking buying it. I don't know." Like, so I think he had no idea who Post Malone was or anything.
I think it's one of the what's their last name again? The fucking Sweet Life Zach and Cody twins, Riverdale guys. Sprouse twins, yeah. One of them, didn't he start a distillery?
I don't know.
Like he actually went and started a distillery. Like learned how to brew.
Yeah. Distilled, but yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know. It's as someone like I own a winery, and we did like 500,000 last year. And he did like 10% of my sales in 20 days.
In one province of many places.
In like the smallest market possible.
Yeah.
Because he's just like, hello, I'm Post Malone. Like, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, it's just like, do you think there's like, I guess like it would only be negative if like this was just shit. Like we spit this out and we're like, oh my fucking God, how do you sell this?
You
right?
can't really lose. Like we're enjoying it because it's connecting us to someone that we enjoy.
Yeah, it's nice to support him, even though he's rich. It's nice
we like to give our shekels to this multi-millionaire and say you're welcome.
Because he's provided me with a lot of entertainment.
I'm not saying that's my point. Like we still feel gratitude towards someone.
Yeah, even though
who
he's
sacrificed
rich.
nothing for us.
Yeah, agreed.
Which is amazing.
Like that, yeah.
Like in terms of a business transaction, like you can't get any better than that's a completely upside down like value proposition. It's like I sacrifice nothing for you,
but I just like you,
and you're indebted to me.
Yeah, fascinating, right? But I think celebrity culture is at its peak, or maybe not at its peak, but that's the highest it's ever been.
Right, that's the cost. It's like it's such a like the level of celebrity is so small and selective, because it was I think Post Malone, Taylor Swift, and what was the other like highest earning musicians?
Yeah, Post Malone's like second highest earning or something.
Yeah, next to Taylor Swift.
Yeah.
And then who was behind Post Malone? It was a fucking band of 80-year-olds or 70-year-olds. What's I'll just look up top earners.
Why I think like XXL or whatever just released their like top rappers, like Lil Baby's making like 12 million a year, which I'm like, really?
The Baby, yeah.
No, Lil Baby is different
Lil
different than Da Baby.
Oh, so sorry.
Yeah.
Okay, so 2020 is Taylor Swift, Kanye West, Ariana Grande.
Kanye's
Drake.
releasing a new album the day after tomorrow.
Yeah, Drake, Post Malone, Marshmello, which is hilarious.
Marshmello's still making money?
Right below Post Malone.
I guess word, but like, if you can do it, right? Like, I don't know. I haven't listened to a Marshmello song since that song with Lil Peep.
We need a Googler.
We need a Jamie.
Queen.
Oh, okay. So Queen made more money than Post Malone.
Queen made $50 million this year.
What did Post Malone make?
Post Malone is... Oh, Billie Eilish, 32 million. She's
Good for
she's
her.
number 3.
She's younger than I am.
She's number 3 in the world.
Dude, she's like 19 years old.
Yeah, number 3.
Fucking
She's
Christ.
number 3 in the world.
Good for her.
BTS is below Billie Eilish.
I hear my dog crying right now.
BTS is worth over $1 billion.
BTS. They have the fucking BTS meal at McDonald's.
Okay, so Post Malone is right behind BTS
Or at-
at 29 million for last year.
On his music alone.
Yeah.
But
So
then how much does he make on fucking...
box office take home 13 million.
Oh, he was in...
streaming royalty estimate 12 million.
He was in that movie with Mark Wahlberg.
Yeah.
Yeah.
10. This is just music.
Yeah.
This is just,
Oh,
this
you mean
is-
box office like royalties from his
Yeah.
music in movies?
yeah. This is Billboard.com.
Oh, okay.
Streaming royalty estimate $12 million. Global stream count 10 billion streams.
No, he broke. You remember, like we talked about this on the podcast. I think like 2 years ago, he broke the Beatles' all-time streaming record or whatever.
That's crazy.
It's insane. Honestly, this
that-
man is my age. And he's a meme lord. Like he's been in fucking iDubbbz YouTube videos. Like he's a fucking meme lord. He's a fucking millennial.
He's a class act. Like
Class.
the video.
Everyone says he's the nicest guy.
The video of him like spilling a fan's beer and then getting her a new one.
Yeah, like
when
everyone
everyone
says
knows
he's
that video.
the nicest guy. Every account I've ever
And
heard.
he's gonna become a country music artist. And on the box, he's wearing a fucking cowboy hat.
Well, he's from Texas, man.
Because we forget he's a white dude from Texas.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah, he's from fucking Texas.
it's so weird.
And his dad follows me on Twitter. Shout out, Rich Post.
Rich Post, who's rich now, I'm sure.
But anyway, it's just it's interesting phenomenon, let's say.
So here's another fun.
Shot?
Yeah, sure. Here's another fun story I heard today. I'm gonna butcher this because I don't remember the name of the group, but it's an orchestral group. So they play like saxophone, keyboard, I think maybe like upright bass, like a couple of different instruments, and they make these covers of like death metal songs
Okay.
with like screamo lyrics,
Yeah.
and they it's not their genre music that they actually put out. But just for their social media, they make these videos where they cover death metal. But while they're covering it, they are driving around in a van, playing their instruments, covering death metal, wearing clown masks.
As one does.
Yeah, and like one of the videos apparently like, when they hit the one tone on the keyboard, like the, and then
Wait, what is it?
and all the other music starts playing around it. This guy fucking whips out his cock, drops it on the keyboard, and just like, and then everyone else starts like shredding. They got incredible viral response, and they came out with their album and released a cryptocurrency called Clown Coin along with their album. Like, think about that. Like, forget NFTs. Think about fucking Clown Coin memeing about your musical style, mocking death metal. It's a little bit different than selling vinyls.
If you're watching the video version of this podcast on youtube.com/votewillows, you can now see a video of my dog Winston, who we got during the pandemic. He's a rescue. He's
Of course, during the pandemic.
Now he's leaving. Oh no, he's looking at us still. He's a Pyrenees golden retriever, and he's very dumb, and we love him. But he came down to say hi because he was crying upstairs. So, okay, we're gonna take this tequila shot, and then he also poured whiskey. So we're gonna die.
It is the whiskey is called
Ach, Torshan.
it's Auchentauschen.
Does that say 60% alcohol?
40%.
Okay,
You
I need
crazy.
new glasses.
That'd be funny. That'd
The
be awesome.
I've been drinking Buffalo Trace bourbon.
Yes, I want some.
Oh, I'll pour next.
Yeah.
And it's 45%.
Charts.
Shorts. I'll put it on the screen if I remember, but there's someone got the highest score ever, like got a bowled a perfect game in a bowling alley.
Yeah.
On 9/11, started before the planes hit the towers and ended afterwards. So it's like this man knew that 9/11 was happening and continued to bowl the perfect game. And it's so funny.
It's a cold ass motherfucker.
And like hit a strike every single I was gonna say pitch.
I mean, kind of is.
What do you call it? I don't know.
I don't know what you call it. Every single bowl?
Bowl?
Are you bowling?
See, when I think
is
about
bowl the verb?
You seen
Every single toss? Chuck?
The Big Lebowski?
Yeah.
Okay.
Fuck yeah.
That's like I think that's one of the
I
funniest.
have it on VHS,
Okay,
bro.
good. I think that's one of the funniest movies ever made.
It's so good.
Because it's all played straight. The
Yeah.
entire film.
Yeah.
Right? That's my fucking rug, bro. Like
'Kay.
all that shit. One of the funniest films, but it's just sarcastic. Like no one smiles the entire film.
Yeah.
Like it's not played for like
It's kind of like Hot Rod or Napoleon Dynamite.
yeah. But yeah, I think it's one of the funniest movies I've ever seen. Every time I watch it, I'm like, "Oh my god." Like when he has sex with Maud Lebowski or whatever, and then afterwards she's like she's like in bed doing like yoga moves or whatever, and he's like, "Oh, what are you stretching out?" And she's like, "No, it encourages conception." He like spits the drink out.
He's like, we don't want none of that.
Oh my god, because he always drinks White Russians, like vodka and milk.
Yeah, fucking
That's
White
his like
Russians.
drink that he's drinking the entire time. Oh my god, yeah, fucking shout out Big Lebowski. That's one of the funny. Anyway, but every time we talk about bowling, I think about Big Lebowski.
Yeah,
Where Walter pulls the gun on the fucking other guy. He's like, "It's league rules!" Like, oh, it's so funny. Okay, watch this. Now that I actually have food. Sit. 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 Good boy. Shake a paw. Good boy. Speak. Speak. Good boy. Lie down. Lie down. Shake a paw. Good boy.
he like smacks you.
Okay. Sit. Sit. Speak. Good boy. Good boy. You're such a good boy.
See, my favorite thing about cats is they'll learn all kinds of tricks, but they don't fucking tell you. They just use them against you. Like my girlfriend's brother, his cat's like learned how to open doors.
Yeah.
So he'll just, unless you deadbolt doors, he will get out of anywhere.
Sit. Sit. Sit.
He's like, give me more fucking
Sit.
snacks. I can
Sit.
smell them.
Sit. Okay. You're not getting in. Sit. No, that was speak. Sit. Good boy. That's what you gotta do.
He's like, fuck you.
Yeah, he knows
a
shake,
very-
speak, lie down, and sit. That's
So
what he knows.
here's a pro tip for you.
Sure.
If you want to get a dog to be compliant with you, and he's misbehaving,
Mm-hmm.
tap his sternum or
Okay.
his
His chest bone?
trachea or
Yeah.
like his throat or his chest bone.
Yeah.
And very quickly especially if you have like a treat, you lift the treat above his nose, like above his head, you tap his throat, and you immediately like both they'll sit down. Like you can put your hand up. It works eventually, and then he thinks he's getting a treat. He's like, "Where the fuck's my food?" I'm so sorry, buddy.
So we've just spent the last 20 minutes
Doing nothing at
just
all.
playing with my dog instead of. So my roommates left. I don't know what they're doing, but they left mid podcast, and I heard my dog crying at the top of the stairs. So I brought him down, and now me and Tyler have just been playing with him for the last 20 minutes instead of like recording the podcast. So
It's a millennial podcast. What can you fucking ask for?
what can you ask for? Do you have a business topic we should talk about?
Yeah. Okay. Here's a fun one.
Sit.
It's not.
Shake.
I'm gonna say I don't think this like breaks any confidentiality or anything like that. But
Hold on. Speak. 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 Good boy.
big bork. Oh yeah, business. Business. Are you here, Willows? Are you in?
Duh.
Okay. So yesterday.
Okay, sorry.
Yeah, yesterday.
Dog.
Yesterday, fucking 5 p.m. or sorry, 5:05. We work 8 to 5 usually. So 5:05. My whatever boss partner gets a text from the other main guy, main installer, main employee, that says, "I quit. I'm done today."
Okay, wow.
No notice. Like, I'm done
Yeah.
right now. Like, he's like, "I got a better."
Sit. No, not speak. Sit. Good boy. Ow. Fuck off.
He's like, I got a better job offer, or I got a better wage offer from someone else. And just fucks off. And the last 3 to 4 days of work that he's done, subpar to non-acceptable.
Because he knew he was going to leave, probably, right?
Probably, yeah.
Yeah.
Like, subpar to unacceptable level. Like, to the point where this may cost the company, like, $2,000 to $4,000
Okay.
to redo what he did poorly.
Yeah.
So, how in the fuck do you hedge against this kind of stuff? Like, is it a quality... like, I know you cannot manage the... you cannot manage the personnel to the point... Okay. you cannot manage your staff to the point where this can't happen, right?
No, of course not. I guess you can
you'll never know. You'll never see it coming.
Yeah, you can create the best possible experience for your employees.
But that doesn't matter because 90% of the time people quit for personal reasons.
Yeah, it's not you, it's me. Right. That's what I've heard from 9 of my girlfriends.
Exactly.
Ask
And
me how
the
many
one, it was your fault.
Ask me how many girlfriends I've had.
How many girlfriends?
5.
Oh, okay.
I've heard it from 9 of them.
So, yeah, 90% of the time, it's a personal issue. And a lot of the time, you know, you're just maybe not an adequate employee. Maybe it's not a good fit. Maybe they're not feeling it anymore. They're not enjoying the job. Could be many different things. But you don't have direct responsibility to it where you could have stopped it or fixed it or solved it. So this guy fucks off, and we're left with cleanup. We're left with redos. We're left with a fucked up schedule. How would you, Willows, deal with that day?
So, okay. Sorry. The dog's out of the room now. Now Willows can focus. So I had a dream about a year ago.
Okay.
So about a year and a half ago, I had a dream that I was running a mid-level manufacturing operation.
And everyone quit?
And everyone quit. Yeah, I told you.
I think you told it.
This is like a whole thing.
You might have said this on the podcast.
I had like an existential crisis when I had this dream. And because here's the thing. My dreams are either I don't remember them or they're nonsensical. It's like, okay, Mr. Unicorn, we're going to the train factory now. And then it's like, but this was like a really real experience that I had with this dream. I may have done psychedelics the night before. Maybe that's why. But whatever.
It's fine.
But and I had a dream that I was running this like manufacturing plant where we like made plastic or something. Yeah. I don't know. Like even in my dreams, I'm like running a business. Anyway, and I was sitting in my office and all my employees one after another came in and quit. Like 20 employees.
I think they call it union strike.
Yeah, and when I woke up, I was like, "Yo." I have abandonment issues.
No, I think you have capitalism issues.
No. I have abandonment issues. No.
He's like, no, I refuse.
No. Here's the thing. I know pre-business. I have abandonment issues.
Fair. Who doesn't?
Fair. But I don't think my parents have ever hugged me. I have some girlfriend problems. Whatever.
I'm problematic.
The week after that dream, I enacted a bonus structure for my sample people.
Yeah.
That they could earn up to like $35 an hour.
Yeah.
If they sold more wine, and they often do. It's like $30 for the first 48 bottles sold at a market or
These
whatever.
around like 2 to 4 hour shifts.
Yeah. No, so it's like efficiently or essentially doubling their wage.
Yeah.
In this bonus structure.
Or more.
And I created that because I'm like, I don't want all my employees to think I'm a piece of shit, capitalist, whatever.
Yeah.
So I'm trying to like kind of relate that back where it's like I did my best.
Yeah.
But can you avoid just an employee being like, fuck you, I'm quitting? No.
No,
but
I
sometimes
think,
it's not your fault.
no, I
what
think
I'm
in this
saying.
specific case it had nothing to do with I don't think it was a problem with the job. I don't think it was a problem with the management. I don't think it was a problem with the wage. I think it was a problem with the individual thinking that they wanted more money for like being marginally better than they were earlier in the year.
Yeah.
But not actually providing any more value to the business.
Okay.
So they had like maybe they could have gone from like $26 to $27 an hour.
Yeah.
But there was no real upside for this person because their scope was limited.
What does like a normal person make? I've never had a job, so
in
like
my field, 40 grand,
40 grand's like
$20 an hour.
$20 an hour. Okay.
That would be like the average.
Do you know what Canada's average is?
No.
I want to say it's 52.
Household.
I feel like that's in my mind.
I don't think the average salary is 52.
Want to Google it quick?
Yeah, sure.
That should be
Average.
widely. I'm gonna piss while you Google it.
Fuck, this is actually pretty impressive.
Okay.
Okay, median after-tax income of
Yeah.
Canadian families and unattached individuals was
Yeah.
62,000.
What is mean though?
Hmm?
So median is the average.
Yeah.
Mean is all the numbers in the middle of that number. Median gets skewed by billionaires.
Right. Without seniors is average household income is 93.
Because like in America, the average household income is like 65K or something. But if you exclude billionaire, if you do like just the mean, it's like 30. Because the billionaires skew the numbers so much.
Unattached individuals under 65 years,
Yeah.
median after tax income was 33,000.
After tax, which is like 50 pre. We have
Yeah.
high taxes in Canada.
Yeah. Okay, yeah. So basically, it's your baseline competent tile guy is making $20 an hour.
Yeah.
Your top like high skill,
Yeah.
Italian guy been doing it forever,
Yeah.
is making $45 an hour, like 90 grand a year.
So let's say,
So
is this like with a degree or not really?
none.
Because you don't have any.
There's no certification.
Yeah.
They don't have an education track for my trade.
So maybe if you're listening to this and you're debating what faculty to go into, maybe just start being a fucking Tyler.
It's like it's competitive with a lot of jobs you can get with degrees, unless you get into
Wait, so hold on. There's no certification?
No.
How does someone know you're good?
reputation,
Literally, that's it.
brand and reputation.
Do you
that's
make
it.
your own fake organization? You tiling? I'm a member of the Tiling Association, so
It's not enough of a thing here.
to like have recognition.
Instagram counts for more than that.
That's wild when you think about it.
Yeah,
But no, I agree with you. Like when I look something up that I want to get done, I'll look at what their past work is, right?
yeah. See, masonry has its own certification, but masons are the guys that are like building
The
school
bricks and shit, right?
buildings that are brick, elevator shafts, stuff
yeah.
like that.
Things that need a certification.
Right.
'Cause you'll die if you don't.
structural.
500 children die in collapsed building.
Right.
Like yeah.
The worst case scenario for me doing my job poorly.
Some rich guy doesn't like the fucking way
his
their
shower
bar
leak.
looks.
His shower leaks.
Fair, yeah.
He's mold.
Yeah.
That's worst case scenario. So there's no real certification. There's building codes.
So here,
but there's no certification.
let's try to frame it. How would somebody start if they don't have a portfolio?
You would either DIY your own home.
Okay.
DIY something for a family member or friend, which is how I got started. I
You
did my mom's bathroom.
You did your mom's bathroom. You did my bar.
I did your bar. I
Before-
also and then I had friends in real estate that had properties that wanted
Okay, but
shit done.
say this person listening does not have friends in real estate.
I would
Say
say
they are good at tiling or carpentry or whatever, and they're trying to start their own
DIY
thing.
for friends and family.
So offer yourself for free,
For free or close to.
or like beers.
Yeah.
Be like, hey buddy, I'll fucking repair your basement.
But
Buy me a 12-pack, whatever,
but caveat, post it on social media.
and fucking promote the fuck out of it.
You have to, because if you just say, "Hey, yeah, tell your friends," and leave
No.
it at that,
No,
and wait for the phone calls,
No.
like,
Here's what I learned. Put it in your control.
yeah,
That's like sales 101 is like never give them your number, take their number.
yes,
Right?
That's why business cards are useless.
Yeah.
I've never gotten a fucking phone call on a business
No,
card.
of course not. But
You're like, "Oh, you have a business card?" I'm like, "No."
My business cards are just for the air of professionality. Well,
Right.
to be fair, 90% of people that I give my business card to, I don't want to talk to.
Right. No,
I just feel like obligated. You know what I mean?
right.
Like,
They may look at your business card and then buy your wine, but they don't look
no,
at your
no, no.
business
But like,
card.
no,
They
no,
email
no.
you.
I have my business card,
Right.
but then I also have my personal business card.
yeah.
And every so often, someone will be like, "Oh, I'm a Facebook marketer. Are you the owner of this business?" And I'm at a farmer's market, and I'm like, "Yeah." And they're like, "Oh, I would love to talk to you more about this shit, whatever, right?" And
Give me your Snapchat.
my Snapchat's on my fucking on my business card.
Right. Yeah, it is. Yeah.
Well, at the bottom, it's like Facebook, Instagram, Snapchat, LinkedIn, YouTube, @VoteWillows, because it's all the same. And most of the people I give my business card, my personal one, I don't actually want to talk to.
yeah.
Well, I even talked. So when we started the business, my partner and I, we always had a store phone, like a number that went to the store, but we just forwarded it to one of our cell phone, whoever was on call that night. But recently, we've now done it so it just goes to my partner's phone. Well, that's division of labor, whatever. He answers the phone calls. If anyone ever calls looking for me, he will never give them my phone number. He only gives them my email now.
Yeah.
And unless it's like, "Hello, I'm a CBC reporter. I want to do a story on you right now." Then he'll give my number.
Right. They're not soliciting you for bullshit.
No, but anything, he'll just respond with, "Here's his email." And they're ever like, even if they know my name, they're like, "Willow, I'm looking for Willows. I'm looking to call," whatever. He's like, yeah, here's his email. And they're like, "Can I have his phone number?" They're like, "No, sorry, like I just have his email." Because they don't know who the fuck they're calling, right?
Right.
That's one of my favorite things as well is we don't do it anymore because we're like paid up. But when I had bill collectors looking after us, they would call us and we would pick up the phone being like, "Hey, yeah, shrugging doctor, hello." And they're like, yeah, we're looking for accounts payable. And we're like, "Oh, sorry, we don't have accounts for payable department. We're small," or whatever. It's like, "Oh, okay, I'm looking for the owner then." It's like, "Oh, sorry, he's on vacation. Can I take a message though?" It's like, "Yeah, this is fucking whatever bill collector is like, we're looking for this." It's like, "Oh yeah, I'll pass that along." And they called back every week. And he's like, "Man, they never call me back." He's like, "I don't know. I'm like, this is me saying it.
Yeah.
I'm writing on the fucking post-it notes. I don't know. Like, I don't know what you want from me. I'm trying to tell my bosses they're not calling you back. Like, this is not my fault." Meanwhile, it's me.
Yeah. You just pass the buck. You defer. You defer.
Fuck them.
Yeah. It's your prerogative.
Yeah. We're like up to date with all my bills, which is weird.
Even better is when a bill collector calls. You say hello, and then they like start talking. You just say hello, hello,
No, one time.
hello.
One of my favorite ones. I think
Hello?
I have a Snapchat of me doing this. Is I saved the number as a bill collector. It was, I think, one of my speeding tickets or something. I had a lot of money to bill collectors for a while. I was paying my rent on my credit card for a while.
Yeah.
I've been in harder times than I am right now. Anyway, but I knew this, so I picked up and I said, Like, Vote Willows International. This is Todd speaking.
But Willows Consortium.
Yeah, this is Todd speaking. And he goes, "Oh, yeah, I'm looking for Christopher Willows." And I'm like, "Oh yeah, no, I'm his assistant. Like, I can take your information, whatever. Like, I'm authorized to take the call, right?" And he goes, "Oh, okay, well, whatever." He owes this money. Can you call us back? And I'm like, "Well, okay. Unfortunately, he's heading our Malaysian expansion right now." And no, I swear to God, swear on my life, I said this to somebody on the phone. I'm like, "Oh, he's heading our Malaysian expansion right now," and I'm not gonna be able to get on the phone. And he goes, "Oh, okay, like when can you get him on the phone?" I'm like, "Well, okay, the project is 4 years, but like, who the fuck knows with these things, right? You know what I mean? Like, they always take longer." And he's like, and then I cut him off, and I'm like, "I can give you his hotel number. Like, if that's gonna help you." He's like, yeah. So literally, as I'm saying this, I'm Google, like, I have my laptop on my lap. I literally Google like Malaysian hotel, whatever.
Yeah.
And just I'm like, yeah. So +38607 whatever. Like, I swear to God. And they never call me again.
Yeah. So this collector got a fucking long distance charge.
And was like, "Oh yeah,
Or
this guy's unreachable."
Or they're still calling that number.
Or they're still calling the number. Yeah, either way.
I hope so.
Yeah, I hope so too. But well, no, I've paid off the debt now. But and I had 3 collections on my credit. I only have 1 left. I'm almost there. I'm
Nice.
almost, because it's 7 years, I think,
Yeah.
before the collections
No,
go.
it's less than that.
Is it? I think it's 7 years. I only have 1 left out of the 3. Dude, I have a 770 credit right now.
Yeah.
That's fucked.
That's really good.
Dude, I was homeless, paying my rent, like paying shit on a credit card. I had $17,000 in credit card debt like a year ago. Maybe 2. No, pre-COVID.
Yeah.
But still.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm working mine down. I've probably worked off 5 in the last, like, since COVID started, 5, 6.
Good.
And
God.
started a business.
Well, yeah, you started your business, so you started like actually.
I put like 15, 20 G's into the business.
And we haven't been going out for beers. I haven't been forcing you to spend.
I've moved out though.
You're paying your own rent. Yeah.
I pay my own rent, like $1,200 a month. I've bought like a full household of stuff, furniture, kitchen stuff,
you have
groceries.
Cat. You spend money.
Oh, God,
a cat that has fucking allergies and shit.
A cat that has allergies and shit and got spayed. Like, this cat has cost me. I don't even fucking do the cat any.
More than the girlfriend.
Why would you add up the cost of your son?
True.
I think my cat's cost me like $600 so far.
Or
free cat though.
I like Knox. I like him.
Is good cat. Him.
No, hold on.
Him with a B is different than gender.
Cats are just female dogs. Stay woke.
Bitch.
Wait.
Bitch. Can I get some Buffalo Trace?
Yeah. Finish that.
I didn't even finish this.
Finish that first. We're getting drunk. This is like our first. So he just back. Okay, so here's the thing. We do a lot of podcasts. We record on Wednesdays usually.
Yep.
So this is a Wednesday recording.
So we turn up on Thursdays pretty hungover.
Yeah, well, no, but so like you usually, because we're recording in my home, so I can just walk over to my bed. But you usually are like, "No, I can't drink too much. I gotta work tomorrow. I gotta drive home." You just chugged that whiskey.
It was like half water.
So man, I am so happy that we're back back to this podcast. We spent 25 minutes playing with my dog. Dude, I haven't seen you. I've seen you 3 times in like 3 months.
In this year, honestly. What's a habit that you found previously super important that means fucking nothing to you now?
That's a good question, actually.
Like 18 months ago,
so
pre-pandemic.
Maybe not habit, but the
ritual action, like
that I was on call 100% of the time. So
no, beyond that, beyond
no,
your
listen though, recently, what I've been doing, like 1 day a week, is turning my fucking phone on non-disturb, where no one can call me.
Yeah.
And I just fucking throw my phone away.
Yeah, that's nice.
Because before, I was valuing so heavily. I work longer than anyone else in my industry. I probably still do.
Yeah.
But I work... These fucking guys go at home at 5 to be with their kids. I'm working. I'm working all night. I don't give a fuck. And I probably honestly do still outwork 90% of my industry. But I've been trying to be like, you know what? I'm having a day off. I'm watching some fucking YouTube videos. I'm turning my fucking phone off so you can't call me.
Yeah.
And I think that's been a major change in my psyche through COVID. Where I'm like, I don't want to do this anymore. Like this like whole extension of like my, just like we work. That's it. That's my mood. Whatever.
I push out my clients 3 to 5 days.
What do you mean?
Like, they email me, they call me, they text me.
Yeah.
I don't respond for 3 to 5
Oh, yeah,
days.
no. I respond on Sundays.
Yeah.
That's
like,
when I respond to all my emails.
Oh, yeah. Okay, so... Yeah, I used to be, like, for context in property management, which
you gotta
was...
respond now.
Now/yesterday.
Yeah.
It was...
The greatest time to respond
brutal.
to an email in property management is yesterday. The best time to start is today.
Yeah, no, it was brutal. The demand on your time, the demand on your attention was...
Well, and not only...
Everything's an extreme emergency
Not
yesterday.
only the demand on your time, but these people have like millions invested with you. So they're like, you need to respond to me right now.
Or tenants who are like, I'm freezing.
Oh,
my
and
furnace
I'm gonna
is broken.
die. Yeah, well, I remember you
And
being
it's a
like,
legal issue.
well, I remember you being like, we have clients invested like millions with us, but they're in fucking like Israel.
Yeah.
And I'm sleeping. And when they wake up and read their email, they're like, okay, you need to fucking call me right now. But it's like 4 a.m. here.
Yeah.
And it's like, fuck off. Like, how is that reasonable?
Even if I called you right now, what could I do for you?
Yeah, it's like, I can't, everything's fucking closed. Like, you know, the...
Yeah, the utilities company will get back to me in 4 days.
And
the tenant will get back to me in a week.
Yeah, exactly. Like,
my own staff won't answer me till the end of day. Like,
yeah, and it's like, why am I doing this, right?
Yeah.
Like, yeah.
But you get the stress anyways.
Of course, because every time I get, you know, I'm in a product-based business, and I'll get customers that are stressed out about, or not so much like end customers, but like I'll get retailers that we're in,
Yeah.
stores that we're in that are stressed out about something that's dumb, they shouldn't be stressed out about, but then it's like until I can solve it, I'm stressed out about it.
Yeah.
Because I don't want my shit. I want my shit to be presented in the best possible light, right? Obviously, so.
So my reflex used to be somebody would come at me with a problem. I'd be like, oh no, how do we fix this? Drop everything, put your coffee down, let's fix this. Now, complaint comes, I'm like, fuck you, fuck that, fuck you, fuck this, fuck that, fuck that person.
Yeah.
Wait.
Not to their face, though, obviously.
Wait, is there something valid here? No, fuck you. Like,
not to their face, though.
No,
obviously.
no, like, but that's the response is instead of being like, oh shit, let's fix this.
Yeah.
It's, no, fuck you, my shit's good. What's your problem?
Wait, I have a example. So I run ads on Facebook and Instagram, right?
Yeah.
I'm kind of drunk. I run one ad on Facebook and Instagram that's kind of cheeky. It's a picture of me pouring a glass of wine. Excuse me. And it just says, yes, comma, Winnipeg has a winery. Because I'm the only winery in the city right now. So it's kind of cheeky, right? It's being like, yeah, we have a winery. Someone the other day commented on that ad because it's just out to the public, right? Someone on Facebook commented on that ad, calling Shrugging Doctor a winery is an insult to anyone who's ever in the profession. Something like to that.
Yeah.
To that idea. And we were like reading and we're like, what does that mean? Like, what does he think we do? Like, what is this? Like, so I responded with the business account, like, we grow grapes and we make wine out of them. Like, I don't know.
Where's the insult?
What else do you want me to do? Like, I'm not.
You want me to be older? You want me to be saltier? You want me to be like Italian or something?
So through like 4 or 5 messages back or like comments back, he was like, "Oh wait," because he didn't know we had a vineyard.
Right.
He all he knew was that we had like one fruit wine or something.
Yeah, you make raspberry wine.
Yeah, that's what he thought. He didn't know I make more than 50% of my wines out of fresh fruit. He didn't know I had a vineyard in southern Manitoba where I make wines out of grapes. Like, he didn't know any of this. And then I educated him, and he literally apologized and said, "You know what? Okay, I apologize. You're a local business. I'm going to support you. Sorry." But how many people don't go through that discourse, that they just look at me and say, "Fuck those guys," whatever.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah, no, you don't verbally say "fuck you" to the customer.
Of course, but in my mind, when I got that comment, I'm like, this guy is all wrong. That's my point. Like, tying back.
Not
to your thing.
I'm wrong.
No, I know he is wrong.
Yeah.
His information is incorrect.
Yeah.
And I was able to like negotiate through it, or like, comment through it. But like when I'm talking about your situation, it's like there's people that are wrong that you're not going to be able to convince that they're wrong.
Yeah, absolutely not.
So
especially our clients. Like,
so like in a business situation, this is a business podcast after all. How do you even deal with that?
Here's the answer: you charge for it on the front end.
Okay.
You say,
give me an example.
I charge 40% above market value because I deal with your bullshit
okay.
post completion.
Sure.
You call me, there's an issue, I fix it, no bill.
Okay.
No complaint.
And that's what you do.
You don't contest.
That's what you do.
Like, yeah, something's cracked, I show up, I fix it.
Okay. Here's an example.
I don't contest, I don't complain, I don't charge.
I've never worked in your industry, what do you call your industry?
I don't know, construction.
Okay, sure. I've never worked, and I've never even, if you put me in a construction job, I would shoot myself. No, I would die of physical exhaustion before I could shoot myself.
You die of an accident.
I'd be like trying to raise the gun to my head, and like my arms were like tied up in a fucking window or anyway, whatever. Okay, but the example that I can think of is that my parents had my cabin. We built a veranda in the back, right? And there was a screened-in veranda. So there's these areas of screens, right? And they had put the screen on the front side of the like 2x4, so that there was nothing, right? But my mother wanted it on the outside of the 2x4, so you could put your drink on it.
Okay.
You know what I'm talking, like, you can visualize it. So like, because the screen's here, there's even with the wall.
There's no ledge.
But you put it on the back of the 2x4.
Yeah.
Then you can put your drink on the ledge.
Yeah.
And that was like in her mind. So she like, I don't know, I was like 11, but they came back and did that for, I presume, free. They like took the screen off and re-put it on the other side, right? And that was at my cabin, so they'll like drive out there and like do it or whatever. But I remember them, I guess this isn't like a really good story because I was too young to like get the moral of it, but like I remember them, I think, valuing these people as construction.
Yeah, absolutely.
Because I think that a lot of
there's the price sensitive people, and then there's the I need it done the way I want it to be done.
You're talking about customers, or
like customers, GCs, whatever.
Well, I guess this is the thing, is like my parents paid for something and then it didn't get done how they wanted.
Right.
But and instead of my mother being like, okay, I guess whatever, she was like, no, I fucking paid for this.
But the price they paid initially is what's important, because
sure,
if you get the bottom dollar guy, you call him back for that warranty job, he won't even pick up.
He switched his number.
Yeah. He switched his number. He's out of business twice.
Yeah. Do
It's
you see a lot of people in your industry that like are just scam artists, basically?
yeah, like if I say in construction
Yeah.
generally, probably over half
Wow.
are just in general, like they will not deliver what they promise.
Which is wild because like when I think about the liquor industry, you can make a bad beer or a bad wine, but it has to be alcoholic. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like it can taste bad,
Yeah.
but it has to like promise what you promised. I promised you a wine that was 10%. Okay, this is a wine that's 10%. It tastes like shit.
Yeah.
But it's a wine that's 10%. Like I could never imagine a fucking, like a Tyler that like gets money and then doesn't do the tile job. I could never do that.
I think I've met 3 people that do it right.
Yeah, my industry couldn't do that because you wouldn't even get a sale. You know what I mean? Like,
they do it like they do poorly enough
that
that
you couldn't
it's-
sue them for
that
it.
they make profit, but
Yeah.
good enough that you don't notice until later.
Could you sue them for that?
Not likely.
Because they did the job.
It costs you more to sue than to get it redone.
That's fair. That's fair. That's fair.
The ticket's too low.
Yeah.
There's no class action against contractors because
Yeah.
here's the other thing about getting ripped off. And here's what works in the favor of contractors in general. And this is why you're like, oh, he's got great reviews. Oh, he's been in business 15 years. He's probably good.
Yeah.
In general, I'm not just saying contractors. In general, the guy, the con artist that went and sold the Eiffel Tower.
Yeah, which happened.
Yeah, he sold the
the-
Eiffel Tower
The
to an
Brooklyn
investor.
Bridge, that happened as well.
Yeah, so he sold the Eiffel Tower as scrap metal
Yeah.
because it was in need of maintenance.
Yeah.
It was not worth as much maintenance as it would cost. They would take it down, and the scrap steel was worth X dollars. So we'll sell you the Eiffel Tower for this. We'll take it down, and you get the metal for this price.
Yeah.
That's basically what the deal was.
Yeah.
He ripped someone off. He got their money, sold the Eiffel Tower, and ran off. He was a con artist who had no claim to anything. He was just a con artist.
Yeah.
He did it a second time because the first guy was so ashamed that he spent, like, let's say
He didn't tell anyone.
let's say today's equivalent of $10 million.
He didn't tell anyone.
He didn't tell anyone
Sure.
because he took it personally that he fucked up.
Well, here's the thing.
Same goes for contractors, house builders, whatever. People feel bad about picking the wrong guy.
So I'm gonna shift this into scams, telephone scams.
I was
Okay.
going to say shifted
So-
back into hiring employees, but sure.
Hold on. So my grandmother, this is like about a year ago. I'm sleeping. She calls me, right? And I usually, like, if I get woken up by my phone, I look at it and it's like whatever. I dump it. But it's my grandmother who never calls me.
Yeah.
This is a woman who like barely knows how the phone works, right? No
Yeah.
offense, I love your grandma, but like, whatever, right? She's
She's
quite,
old.
quite old. But it's her cell phone number, and I'm like, okay, and I'm half a fucking sleep, right? And I pick up the phone, I go, hello, like, hi, hey, grandma, like, whatever. I'm a fucking like whatever, out of it. And she's like, did you just call me? Period. And I go, what? Did you just call me? Did we just speak on the phone? And I go, no. Like, what? No. Sigh of relief. Tells me this story. Someone just calls her. Hey, grandma, it's Christopher. Like, knows my name. Knows all this shit. I just got in a car accident. And I rear-ended a guy. It's not my fault, but whatever. I rear-ended a guy, and they're telling me he's a diplomat, so there's a gag order on this accident, and I need to, whatever. Can you wire me $2,000 for my deductible and for this like fee or whatever, so I can like whatever. You'll get it back as soon as this gag order's done.
Yeah.
And she said, yeah. And literally, this is like an, 80-year-old woman. she's on top of her shit, but she was putting on her jacket and then was like, wait a second. Why would Christopher call me and not his mother?
Or his friends.
Or whatever, right?
Yeah.
Take the money out of his business account, right?
Yeah.
So she calls me. This is 8 a.m. in the morning. And goes, did we just speak on the phone? I go, what? Like, what the fuck are you talking about, right? I'm like, no, what? Sigh of relief. This was a scam. Who, I guess, I don't know. I don't know how they knew because they knew my first name and they knew who she was.
Yeah.
So I don't know what this scam was.
Facebook?
To be fair, like my name is in the paper all the time.
Say it's fucking Facebook.
Yeah, no, I'm pretty public.
Yeah.
You know, in my shit, like I'm in the newspaper, I'm on fucking TV, like whatever. Fair that you found, but this was a scam artist that was able to identify so many fucking things about my life, and then every argument that she would have, they had a,
Rebuttal.
It's like, why can't you wait? Oh, because it's a gag order. Because it was
Right.
a politician.
Right.
So it needs to be paid now and we can't talk about it, whatever, right? All this shit. And I remember, like, at the end of the phone call when she called me, I'm like, Grandma, you did the right thing. Like, you were correct here. Like, by hanging up and calling me, you were in the right.
Yeah.
So I guess like I edit all these podcasts. I listen to these podcasts and I edit them. So I'll hear what I was talking about, but as of now, we're both too drunk.
hurt. It'll hurt painfully for the listener.
Yeah, it'll hurt.
The worst thing I have ever experienced as a podcast listener, which I am, like, I probably listen to more podcasts than any of you. At me, I hate when someone's like, "Oh yeah," they ask this question and it never gets answered.
Yeah, it cuts.
I hate it. I hate it. I just want to I want to break things.
So neither of us.
I'm so sorry.
Both of us are too drunk to remember what we were talking about before I talked about my grandmother getting scammed.
Thank you, Buffalo Trace. I'm sorry, grandmother. Now I want to call my grandma.
But
Call your grandma,
call your grandma.
please.
You wanna let's this is 2:29 here, but we had a lot of dog time.
We had a lot of dog time.
So maybe let's we're now gonna go into the segment where we give business advice based on troubles that we're currently going in.
Yeah.
We don't give random, like popular advice, whatever. We go through advice that we relate to
What's
personally.
fucking relevant in the last 7 days?
Yeah, we personally relate. So my advice is, one of my employees, one of my my sample people, she's going to school in a different province as of the fall. So she's leaving here. She can't work for me anymore, even if she wanted to, which I think she does. I hope she does. She has to leave the province, whatever, right? And so here's my tip of the day for business owners is that with every single employee that you have, you should try to, treat them the best they can. Treat them like they're part of the family. Treat them like they're the highest contributor. But, especially startups, you're usually a stepping stone, you know what I mean? You're going to have employees come and go. And that is what it is. You shouldn't hate an employee because they found an opportunity that suits them better than your startup.
Yeah.
You should never be like, well, that fucking bitch. Whatever. It's like, dude, you're running a fucking shitty startup. I'm running a winery that doesn't know what the fuck they're doing.
The scorched earth mentality never works as a startup.
Agreed. That's what I'm trying to say. Is every person in your organization as a startup business, I think, has value. You hired them because they had value. You saw that value.
And also, distance makes the heart grow fonder, right? Like they will leave they will leave your company, and as long as you weren't a fucking asshole and they quit for cause,
that's a whole different thing. Obviously,
quitting for cause versus moving up is a different thing.
Yeah.
But like they will look back and positively view your company.
Business,
Yeah, and will probably look at it better than it was.
yeah, because startups are fucking shit.
They're dog shit, but I love every minute of it.
So do I.
So
that's my business tip of the day, which is our segment here at the end of the podcast. And it's like, don't judge your people because they need to move on.
Yeah.
Don't and here's the thing is like I've heard before, like, don't judge your employee when they leave, judge yourself. You were the failure. I've heard that before. No, don't even judge yourself as the failure. It's
Sometimes,
like, dude, it's like that's the part of their life they need to like do. The fact that they were part of that in the first place is something, right?
Well, that's the ecosystem.
So this is talking to any startup.
Yeah, and I'll second that because we had the same thing happen fucking yesterday.
And that's why I was thinking about it.
You have someone leave. Imagine if you had 20 people, 40 people, 60 people. One person leaves, inconsequential.
Mm-hmm.
You take it personally because you feel like you owe this person not only a job and a wage, but also entertainment,
friendship,
life fulfillment, friendship, spiritual fulfillment, emotional fulfillment, maybe even sexual, depending how you feel about it. So don't attach your ego to people being hired or leaving or people that you have to let go.
Is this your tip, or are you just
my tip?
Jumping on my tip.
Because I think every single company I've ever worked for, every single startup I've ever been in, the founder in different ways has attributed my commitment, my employment, my efforts to their ego, where I leave, I stop, I give up, to their skills, their abilities.
When meanwhile, maybe leveling up means leaving you. But what they think is leaving you means giving up.
Right. Leaving them means they've failed. Loving them. Yeah. Whatever it may be. Yeah. Negotiations were met. It could be a million reasons.
Yeah.
Most of the time it's personal. Yeah. Most of the time it's internal. Most of the time it's an argument that you didn't know you had.
Don't get a job with a fucking startup. As someone who owns a
don't work for a startup.
As someone who owns a startup.
No, I disagree. I disagree.
Just kidding.
Work for a startup. Get the emotional damage.
Dude, I treat my fucking employees better than fucking corporate Americans.
Yeah, no, I say work for a startup. Get the emotional damage. Become an entrepreneur.
Yeah, sure.
And then do better.
Dude, I pay my salespeople $33 an hour with their bonus structure, which is triple minimum wage.
We can't even afford $33 an hour.
I can. So go fuck yourself.
But we have to pay
objectively, my business is better than yours.
But we have to pay 40 hours a week.
I'm just kidding, obviously, right? So, what are we doing?
But what are we doing? So,
you know what?
Don't put your measuring stick on Instagram. Put it in your own pants.
This is your tip of the week, right?
And tip it against your buddies.
Okay. I wish I could tip against my buddies. Wait.
August 7th.
Oh.
So cheers. Buffalo Trace.
I killed mine.
Buffalo Trace, Post Malone, wine, a little bit of tequila, whole lot of happiness, a bit of business, some bullshit politics, fuck Myanmar and Haiti and America and government in general.
Welcome back to the podcast, man. We're going to do this every week now. Every Wednesday we're going to record.
Yep.
It's been months since we recorded, so now
a hot fucking minute.
We're back.
Look at my hair.
Yeah, we're back to it. We're fucking back to it, buddy. So, thank you for listening to the podcast, Alcohol Beyond This Point, on Instagram, Alcohol Beyond This Point podcast on Facebook. If you want to watch the video version of this podcast,
on YouTube,
youtube.com/willows. We're on Spotify. We're on Apple Music. We're on Spreaker. We're on anywhere you get your podcasts. Thank you. Like, we honestly, I'm a running joke on this podcast is that I love the audience and Tyler hates them.
I'm like, fuck you, I don't care.
Yes. Dude, I'm literally crying right now. Like,
He has a boner.
The amount of support I get from anything, like, I just appreciate so much. So, thank you for listening to Alcohol Beyond This Point. And I guess, like,
Alcohol Beyond This Point podcast.
This isn't two podcasters talking business. This is two business guys trying to podcast.